So this game, April Was a Fool, is a very little known otome. It's obviously a very beautifully unique art style that a lot of people I know haven't really seen. And this is not available on Steam or itch, it's only on the RPG Maker website, and definitely a few years old now. But it's cute. I still have to change the sound a little because this one hasn't been updated since since I started this, so I'll do about here. I think that's okay, but I'm not sure. I actually rather forgot to do sound tests compared to normal today. Whoopsie. But that's also because I'm running behind of what I wanted because I've been tired today. But this... yeah. 2 years ago, 6 heroes were summoned to defeat a terrible dark overlord who was threatening the lands. Their adventure met with success, and the overlord was banished from this world. Peace returned, and the heroes were lauded by the people. However, peace is never constant, and another evil force has risen to take control of the world. Though the presence has only just begun its rampage, the king notices the potential this threat holds, taking action immediately. Once again, these 6 heroes are called upon to fight. This is their story. Except there's an issue. The castle of His Majesty, King the 14th, is well decorated with banners and candles and paintings. All 13 previous kings, immortalized in marble statues, stand outside the throne room. Their expressions are... hi. And yes, I'm going to put this here, because for anybody who wants it. It has a little download thing there on the tabs, but it's a bit of an older little indie otome, but it's good. The castle of His Majesty, King the 14th, is well decorated with banners and candles and paintings. All 13 previous kings, immortalized in marble statues, stand outside that throne room. Their expressions are ones that demand respect, nothing at all like the current king. This is the first time I've been inside the castle. I've always tried to picture it, but never could I have imagined something quite this grand. My gaze drifts from the finely woven tapestries and stern faces of the statues towards the ceiling. It's so high, walls reaching upwards to meet it. Stained glass windows sparkle in the afternoon sunlight along the top, casting the hallway in a light that's dazzling and rainbow in color. Also, I haven't played this in a couple of years also on this one. I like just going back and forth between different ones when I finally forget them a little, and then replaying because it's fun. I've been standing here for a while now. 4 other people stand close by. Who have been here with me this entire time. We're waiting for the last member of our small group to finish his discussion with the king. The others had explained to me earlier that he was the only one with a high enough skill level in listening to actually hear the king's mumbled words. The wallet in the front of my dress is an ever-constant thought thought in my mind. It's why I'm here. It's why I'm still here. My mouth was a little bit extra fumbled today because I slept really horribly last night. Cats, man. My cat decided to wake me up at 1 in the morning for cuddles. And I'm allergic. Go figure. Even an hour's time spent standing here doing nothing was worth it for the amount of money they'd given me. Normally, I'd be at work right now, but today turned out different. Maybe I should explain. What are we going to do? Calm down, Blakey. We just need to stop freaking out and think rationally. Yo, Erwin, what are we gonna do? I don't see any problems with just the 5 of us go. And these are the heroes party from before that defeated the great evil. That's why I didn't ask you. King summoned all 6 of us, and he's too senile to understand why only 5 of us showed up. It's really a pity what happened to April. I wish I could have been there. Ain't never seen someone get torn asunder by a dragon before. Would have been one thrill of a patch-up job. Stop! I don't want to think about that! Erwin? Erwin, are you even listening to us? We gotta figure out what we're... Look over there, at that girl. Seriously, as much as I don't mind looking at chicks, it's really not the time for... She? It's April. You know that's not possible. April's dead. I know, Sure does look like her, but I don't think anyone could have healed her up from how her body looked once that dragon was through with her. At least from what Blake told me, I'd bet that's the case. Of course it's not April, you idiots. However, she does bear an uncanny resemblance. If we can be fooled by it, then His Majesty King should fall for it easily. Excuse me, milady. It's only my third day on the job, but I'm already used to responding to patrons calling out for my attention when they need service. I approached the table of the man who just called me. He's rather handsome and wearing clothes of high quality, but there's something behind that smile that's hard to trust. His companions at the table with him don't appear that reliable either. To his right is a woman clothed in colorful silks with an almost predatory sneer, and to his left is an intimidating hulk of a man in what appears to be some sort of traveling priest robes. Maybe. Across the table are two younger-looking boys dressed in armor. One wears leather and is smiling openly while the other is in light-colored armor with an intricate design and a nervous disposition, if one can wear such a thing. Their outfits suggest they are powerful, or at least wealthy, but I can't seem to shake the feeling of awe and dread that first caught me when I came over. Still, they are customers. I reach out for my notepad to jot down their orders. Milady, my name is Erwin Gates. I almost dropped my notepad in shock. Oh, perhaps you've heard of me. Yes, Erwin Gates, the richest man alive, mayor of Perk City and hero of the known world. Of course I've heard of him. Everyone's heard of him. He helped defeat the Dark Overlord years ago. That would make the others at the table with him. Hey, yeah, we're all world-class heroes. World-class heroes? What are they? Erwin grabs my hand, the action enough to make my already trembling fingers drop my pen and my racing thoughts to freeze. He presses his lips lightly to the back of my hand. There is a favor we must ask of you. Put away that notepad, milady, for our favor requires you to spend some time in our company. What in the world could people like them want with someone like me? We need you to pretend to be an old acquaintance of ours for a short romp in the castle. Fact of the matter is, you look just like our friend April, before she was pulled into 20 pieces, and her blood splattered all over the snow-colored treasure of a dragon. Snow-covered, not colored. Blech. I recoil, clutching my hand close to me. I know fear must be written all over my face. There weren't dragons in the castle, though, right? What was the point of even telling me that? More importantly, why is he smiling? Rose, you've gone and scared the poor lamb. Ain't no one gonna want to pretend to be someone else after you up and tell him how she died. Fine, April was a cool chick. You'd like her. That didn't make anything he just said any better. I start to protest, hair swaying back and forth with my head. Guess you're right. I can't really say for sure you'd like her. We're not asking for much. We just need you to come over and stand in the castle with us, and then it'll be over. No dragons, no overlords, no bandits or ravens or wyverns or anything like that. Yeah, the two of them are vastly more reassuring than the rest. Still... Okay, look, enough beating around the bush with small talk. I can pay you handsomely if you do us this favor. Like Ken said, all you need to do is stand in a castle. How many people can say they were paid to stand in a castle? Sure looks like you need the cash. He hands me back my wallet. Wait, what? Besides, it'll be fun. Erwin does all the talking anyways, so we can show you around the castle for a bit, if you'd like that. I mean, it would be cool. Yeah, the castle is pretty neat. Crossing my arms, I think it over. It's true what they say, getting paid to stand in a castle would certainly be a simple thing to do. Wait a minute. Why do you need to go if only one of us is going to speak with the king? My, your intelligence is a bit higher than your appearance would have me expect, King always kisses his heroes on the head before they leave for good luck. Says his lips are blessed by angels or some crock. That's why there's gotta be 6 of us. Not one of us got the heart to tell the king that April died. Oh, I'll tell him for you all, in great detail. First, stop! That'd make the man cry, Rose. The last thing we need is to have to sit through some senile geezer crying all over us. Well, now you see what sort of predicament we're in. What's it going to be? He's holding my wallet again, waving it back and forth and making a big show of how empty it is. Just stand in a castle. I suppose that's really not so bad. Nodding, I agreed to help them. Yay, it'll be nice having 6 of us again. Blake reaches across the table to grab my hands. His smile is refreshing and helps stave off any impending sense of doubt or regret. Yeah, even if it's just for a little while, she can't come with us to save the world, Blake. I know. Gabby gives the younger boy a rough pop on the head and he lets go of my hands. Unless you want to follow in April's footsteps completely. Hike up a mountain and be good at it by row upon row of dragon teeth. I've got enough spells to keep you alive through the whole thing. There's that doubt and regret again. Maybe this was a bad idea. I hear another patron calling across the room for service and start to make my way towards him. Hold up, lamb. Just ignore Rose. The man's as morbid as a necromancer, but he's not a bad guy. My feet freeze, and slowly I turn back to face them. They're all smiling at me, mustering up the best reassuring faces that they can. True, in most cases they're missing the mark, but the effort is appreciated. Maybe we're getting off to a bad start. I'm Kent! What's your name? I introduce myself to them. May. And I usually change it to June, but April comes after May, and so screw it, I'll keep it. May, a barmaid who just started work a few days prior and hopes to raise enough money to attend classes at a Hero Academy in Perk. Hero Academy? I remember my days there. I wonder, what's a dame such as yourself hoping to study there? And since I am going for Dark Morbid Priestman, I don't care, he is best beam. Everybody else is adorable, but he is my favorite character in this whole game because he is just so bubbly and perky. When it comes to gruesomeness, it's adorable. It's Cap Moe, I guess. That's amazing. It suits you well, I think. Kent claps me on the back while he laughs with excitement. He's stronger than he looks. When he stops, I sheepishly rub my back, hoping he doesn't notice. He doesn't. How fortunate. With the money you'll earn from doing us this little favor, you'll easily be able to attend all the classes you need and then some. You could walk right out of this job and never have to worry about serving tables again. He hands me back my wallet. I take a quick peek inside, and just like he said, it's overflowing with cash. Oddly enough, the picture of my mother is missing. Strange. I guess I'll have to ask him about that later. That was how I met 5 of the 6 legendary world-class heroes who had saved the world once before and were hoping to save it again. Erwin Gates. The richest man in the world, and rumored to be one of the smartest, he claims his role in saving the world is strictly confidential. Maybe he was their benefactor? Age 27, his special skills are lockpicking, expert hearing, and disarm trap. He's level 80, rogue, and he's mayor, which is poor bastard, Mayor of Burke, which is his birthplace. His hobbies are traveling, he likes money, and expensive cheeses, and dislikes annoying people, which is funny because he himself is obnoxious and annoying. Gabby Embers, age 32, special skills, 1 MP cost, MP regeneration, and elemental resist. He's level 75, class mage, occupation hero. Place of birth, Eastern. Hobbies, burning things. She likes fire, smell of burned wood, and dislikes incompetence. Gabby Embers, a mage from Eastern Town who was wanted in several towns for arson before she saved the world and was cleared of all charges. Kent Kenson, son of Kent. I love his name. He's why I got the game in the first place, but he's not my fave. Age 22, special skills, dual wield. Level 58, class Berserker. Occupation, none. Birthplace, winter. Hobbies, taming animals. He likes peace, cookies with milk, and he dislikes fighting. Kent Kenson, son of Kent, a young boy from the northern town of Winter. It said he landed the final blow against the previous threat to the world. Maybe he'd only had 1 HP left. Gun Rose, and this is the best beam. He has painted nails too, and I mean his wand has a heart. He's in hot pink. Age 25, special skills, group healing, concentration, heal plus, level 80. Class, priest. Occupation, priest. Place of birth, perk. Hobbies, drawing, singing. Likes charity work and dislikes con artists. Gun Rose, a brash man from Perk City. He dresses like a bad guy, but apparently his skills as a healer can't be rivaled. Also, the others are sure he's a good singer. Lake Embers, age 23, special skills, hero, prophecy, level, also 23. Class, warrior, occupation, hero, birthplace, place of birth, Easter. Hobbies, collect swords, likes sour food, stories about heroes, and he dislikes his own lack of skill. Lake Embers, Gabby's younger brother. His skills with the sword were said to be second only to one, April, though his confidence holds him back. And of course there was April, who has been destroyed and torn apart by a dragon but looks like our main character. My beautiful friends, I return once more. One king skillfully comprehended and conversed with, one mission ready to tell. It's about damn time. I think my feet were starting to droop here. We took May around the castle a few times, so I don't think your feet were going to turn into trees, Gabby. No fun.
Well, what did the old guy say?
Allow me to paraphrase. He clears his throat in a dramatic manner, hunching over a little bit to impersonate the feeble king. My dearest Erwin, most beautiful man alive, I am so glad to lay eyes upon your flawless visage once more. I have only grave news for you, a fact that puts me in great sorrow, but your gorgeous eyes have helped to lift my spirit once more.
Watch out, sounds like king one's in your pants.
Doesn't everyone, Gabs, my dear?
I sure as hell don't.
One exception to the rule.
Not one bit of this counts as paraphrasing, Erwin. Get on with it already, before I gotta do something drastic, like bruise those gorgeous eyes of yours.
And then heal me afterwards, I should hope.
Yeah, so I can proceed to break your running mouth and then heal it too so you can apologize.
His Grace has tasked us with finding and destroying the entity known as evil before it cloaks the world in darkness.
Who names their kid evil? They were just asking for this, you know.
Maybe they're masochists.
How are we going to defeat something like that?
Well, we've saved the world before. I don't see why we can't do it again.
But we had April before. Silence takes over the grand hallway, settling between the marble statues and lingering along the thick carpet. I look between them. Each has their face drawn tight, head hung low, eyes directed to the floor. Erwin's hands are balled so tightly his nails dig into his skin. Blake looks ready to cry. It's obvious, whoever this April was, she meant a great deal to them. I know I can't replace that, but I should at least say something to try and raise their spirits. And I'm going to save, and yes, it actually has cool... I don't know if I'm actually on the right page or not, but oh well. Whee! I don't remember which is good for... Oh, let's try this one and see. I don't know who... So, I'm sorry for your loss, but you have a world to save. Right, even without April, we're still... April...
Okay, guys, let me see.
It can... Good. I don't know if it actually went up or down with him, so 1 second. Whee! I have to find out. Yes, it did. Good. What can I say? I am a roll on my belly for Gunnar Rose. He is wonderful, so... April. I don't remember what I'm doing. I'm here. He's like, that one, okay. April.
Okay, guys, let's focus on our mission. Where did King say this evil guy is?
Erwin doesn't answer, head still drooped downwards.
Erwin, snap out of it!
With a dagger-like jab, Gabby strikes Erwin's arm and brings him back to his senses. The awkward yelp gets Blake's attention as well.
He didn't know. That's a pain.
Last time, his seers were able to point us to the right to the final boss.
His seers have done their best, but they were unable to track down the exact current location of evil. Apparently, its magic is rather powerful, and its influence is spread out to many places, making it hard to pinpoint. However, they were able to locate a few places where it has been before. What do you mean by that?
They found the town it originated from, a small and humble hamlet located on the outskirts of a forest called Hick Village. A castle, quite foolishly named Castle Evil, has been used as its dwelling several times in the past. Also, there's a small laboratory outside of Perk City that is being used to build weapons of impressive power that it's believed to have connections with. Come on, man, you're the mayor of Perk and you didn't notice some lab being built right near your town. I noticed. I figured it might draw in some interesting new businesses. The expansion of a town is about more than just kicking out suspicious-looking buildings the second they appear.
You let them build an evil lab? Erwin starts tapping his foot relentlessly against the carpeted floor.
I didn't know it was evil!
Whatever, yo. Let's not argue between each other, especially over Erwin's morality. That's a topic as old as the sun. What's the mission?
Normally April would decide.
They start to slip into another round of silence, but... Seems pretty straightforward to me. We head to Death Peaks. Whoa, why Death Peaks? No one mentioned Death Peaks. Death Peaks was not any of the options just now. Are you trying to get us killed?
We already know that's usually Rose's main goal.
That's no good. We can't do that. I don't want to die. I don't want to go there. It's what I've got magic for, kid. It's cool.
He pats Blake lightly on the back, but from the look on Blake's face, Guns lightly is about as light as a horse stepping on your foot.
I'm only 2 years younger than you. I'm not a kid. Look, shouldn't we start by...
Let's head to Hick Village and burn the ruddy place to the ground.
Huh? What good is that going to do, sis? I've never heard of a megalomaniac who wants to take over the world using his hometown as his base of operations. What we should do is head to the lab near Perk.
And burn it to the ground!
Flames ripple across Gabby's arms. Surprisingly, her ropes don't burn up. Though I shouldn't be that shocked. Most mages find armor suited to their needs. Her ropes are likely fireproof.
Can you not do that?
I'll do what I want, Rose.
We will not be setting a building near the magnificent city of Perk on fire, Gabs, my dear. What we will do is infiltrate the laboratory and steal whatever secret doomsday weapon evil has hidden inside.
Can't we just take it up with the Utopia makers? His voice is nervous, each word coming out with careful, plotted diction. From what I've learned of our time together, that seems unusual.
Please, Kent. Everyone knows that the UM is practically useless.
That's not true. Just last month, my dad brought the conflict of winter and summer to the UN, and they solved it peacefully. They can do really great things. Now, Dad and I go over there and have tea and cookies with the eldest of summer pretty often. I bet Evil would enjoy tea and cookies too.
Heck knows he wouldn't, Kent. Get a grip and a reality check. My plan is the best. Burn down his hometown and he'll be forced to come out of hiding for revenge. Then we punt him back to whatever hole he crawled out of.
Gabs, he can't crawl back to whatever hole he crawled out of if you literally burned the hole he crawled out of to the ground.
I'm talking about wherever he's hiding now, not his mother, you prick. Clamp your yappers and just admit it already. My plan is the best.
Death Peaks. Every final Bob hides at Death Peaks.
The Overlord wasn't at Death Peaks.
They have a castle called Castle Evil. Why is no one suggesting we go there? That's their base. They named it after themselves and it's a castle. Why dirty our hands with fighting it all if we can just get into its lab and steal everything it was going to use to take over the world?
No offense, Erwin, I don't really want you having that stuff either.
I would donate it to the king in the city of the castle, naturally.
Then you'd hawk it back to your own little collection. Nah, we ain't pulling that stuff out anywhere near you.
You shame my good name, my dear Gabrielle.
It's Gabs or Gabby or your head in the frying pan.
If April were here, she would have already she would have us already out the door and on our way.
April would have wanted us to take the peaceful route. Let's go to the UM and ask them to politely request Evil not to take over the world.
April got eaten by a dragon because she wanted to steal all of its gold, thinking you're giving her charity too much credit. As much as she was a magnificent woman gun, that wasn't exactly what she wanted to.
And then she was gonna donate that money to the poor.
What? No, she wanted to fight the dragon because...
April would have wanted us to go to the UM. Yo, how many times did you suggest to April that we go to the UM over the last 2 years we've been together?
I think 15 different times?
And how many times did we go to the UM?
Once.
Let's burn down Hick Village.
Here's an idea. Why don't we let the lady decide? They all look at me for the first time since they started bickering. 5 sets of eyes, the eyes of heroes. I suppose that sounds pretty daunting, but they're all idiots.
I agree with Erwin.
Me too. You should help us pick, May.
One last thing while you're standing in for April.
I, of course, also agree with Erwin.
Sure, why not? You seem like a well enough gal to leave in charge of our fate.
Shoot it, babe. What's the answer?
And Death Peaks. Because like I said, gun is Rose, gun is life, and he is a healer of amazing proportions. Whee!
No! Why? That has nothing to do with anything. You said she could pick, and she picked. Looks like we're going to Death Peaks. It's a place for final bosses, you know. But that's... too bad. So sad. Unless you're gonna veto your own plan. That's decided then. I suppose we'll be off. Milady, you have our deepest gratitude. If not for you, we'd still be consoling His Majesty after informing him of April's death. Or at least still describing the sounds of her spine popping apart. Pop, 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 pop. Stop it! That's enough. Yeah, sorry. His enthusiasm burns out quickly. I can't say I'm not grateful for that. It was truly a pleasure to meet you. He takes my hand again, kissing the back once more. His eyes meet mine as his head rises. Behind those eyes is something very sad. He covers it quickly with a smile and stands straight once more. He turns to leave. Kent hits my arm playfully, which stings a surprising amount, and gives me a small wave as he walks past. Blake is next, a sheepish smile, and a clumsy shake of my hand later, and he's leaving too. Gunn and Gabby both follow suit, small gesture of farewell marking the last interactions I would have with them. I don't want it to end here. One second. Clenching my hand nervously, I call out. They each stop and turn slowly. Once again, the eyes of 5 heroes are watching me. What is it, milady? We're
kind of in a hurry. Got a world to save and all.
I'm not sure why, but I want to go with them. I want to be a hero too. I explain my desires to them, ignoring the shocked looks on their faces.
But you haven't even gone to school yet. How can you be a hero? I never went to school either. It ain't that. Kent's right though. You don't really look like hero material yet.
Doesn't really look like hero material, huh? I'm sorry, Miss May, but it's too dangerous where we're going. At any time, evil could send creatures of darkness to devour us. Devour? Never mind that. Creatures of darkness do far worse than that. They crawl their way into your mind and force you to witness your worst fears over and over until you are driven mad with regret and fear. Until you're nothing more than an empty shell of your true self. He gestures as he talks, making it impossible not to vividly imagine the scenario he's painting with his words and actions. I swallow back my fear.
Wow, they should really look for a new hobby. I hear baking is quite nice.
Let's not make light of Milady's request. Tell me, how do you plan to keep up with us? And I'm going to click, because like I said, nope. There's ones that each character likes and dislikes, and I like going, wee, it's because, well, what can I say?
Ooh, Tana.
For a
wonderful, awesome person. Yeah, it is. It's a really cute little game. And I have the link still, and I've been keeping it with me to go and post up when need be. Mwahaha.
Of course. And so yeah, I'll try not to get in the way. Basically, your character looks just like the heroes from the group of 6 heroes' previous friend, April, who decided to try and fight a dragon for its treasure. The whole group did not go, only a couple of them did, and she got torn apart by a dragon. They didn't want to tell the senile king about what was going on, so they saw this barmaid, the main character May, and were like, hey, come join us! We don't want to have to tell them, so we'll pay you just to come here with us. And now she's like, I don't want to stop, I want to go on an adventure with you guys. And they're like, you haven't even gone to school for that. You're gonna die. None of them say anything else, but Erwin offers me his hand. I take it and he pulls me towards to stand beside the rest of them. So yeah, these are the group. Here's a Healy priest who does not seem like a Healy priest, and I love him. He is wonderful. Releasing his grip, he pats my back lightly, and the group starts walking once more. I hesitate at first, but soon match their step. I'm not sure what made them accept me, but I'm glad. I'm gonna be a hero.
Wait, we forgot to get our royal good luck kiss.
Everyone groans loudly, and we turn back, entering the king's throne room for our blessed, albeit slobbery old man kisses.
Just keep thinking about the money. It'll be over soon.
He says his smooches are blessed. And since I also see, look, 1 second, haha. I see you lurking there, and I see my people, different peoples, the fun peoples, the wonderful peoples here. So yay!
Oh, and I see a plushie. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Hello, my friend peoples, and this is Tome. This is a very small one, only a few places, and it's fun. And it's dorky and, well, D&D classes. The area outside of Castle City is mostly used for farming. Open and flat land stretches out around us on either side of the dirt path we've been walking along. A couple of times, we pass a caravan bringing freshly harvested goods into the city for sale. It reminds me fondly of my parents and home, and in order to work in the city, I had to move away from my family. I miss them, yet they'd both be proud to hear what I'm doing now. As we get further from the city, the number of trees along the side of the road starts to increase, and the small buildings of farms in the distance get harder to see. I turn my attention back to the road ahead of me to try to stop getting lost in how homesick I feel. Hey. At the sound of the deep voice, I turn around, slowing my step until I'm walking beside Gun.
He is my favorite bean. I will always keep gushing on him just because he's fun. Ow. Oops, we're off mute.
Just so you know, there's really no reason for us to go to Death Peaks. I just like it there. Missed my chance to go last time. I'm talking, of course, about when Blakey and April hiked it on over and the last got herself killed. Sad, I miss seeing that. I mean... Suddenly standing next to the large figure of Gun makes me feel very uncomfortable. I probably could have saved her, is all. Cast a resurrection spell. Had I been there to watch each piece of her spine pop apart, I could have reversed it. Maybe. Suppose she was in 10 pieces. Maybe I'm not that good. But hey, that's why we're going there, so I can find out. I can't find any words. 1, I wasn't under the impression that Gun talked this much. 2, he outright admits that this is the wrong way to go. 3, he wants to see someone die? You look like April, got the same body mass and height, so if it was you, I'd know for sure if I could have done it. Is he teasing me, or does he really mean that? It doesn't matter, I'm going to protest either way. Maybe I hurt your feelings.
Hey, Rose, are you teasing the new girl?
I'm just being honest. Kent laughs. Please save me from this man, Kent.
You can say that, but I don't think you really mean it. You're just a horrible tease.
He punches Gun in the arm and she continues to laugh. I guess he's not going to be saving me at all.
You're another factor in this, Kent. There's a chance to just tear the dragon apart instead.
I don't quite understand.
Kent's laughter has stopped now, and instead he's nervously stroking the fur on the fox that lives around his neck.
And yes, Kent has a little fox that lives around his neck and it's adorable.
You know, go all crazy and slice and dice, real blood shower.
Wow, you bunch sure are chatty back here. Almost like maybe you are going to say things you shouldn't? Erwin, who appeared seemingly out of nowhere, is glaring fiercely at Gunn. The big man only rolls his eyes in response, shoving Erwin out of his face with one hand. Kent still looks nervous and perhaps a little confused. As for me, I'm more than a little confused, that's for sure. For heroes, this is a pretty odd bunch.
Whatever. Sorry, Erwin. I know the deal.
Well, I don't.
Thank you, Gunn. Mind your words from now on. I might be mistaken, but Gunn's eyes seem to twinkle a little before returning to their flat, unimpressed look.
So, anyway, Death Peaks, right?
Right.
Blake's the only one that's been there before. Well, the only one alive, anyway. Hey, Blake, what's it like?
I don't want to talk about it.
Seriously, Kent, leave him alone. It was just a question. An insensitive one, and you know it. I guess so.
Kid's still bent out of shape, I guess, probably picturing the sound of how she screamed as her arms got torn out of their sockets. Did she scream right? Did she have time to?
Enough! That is more than enough!
Okay, I'll stop.
There's an expectant look on his face that fades away when Gabby pushes Blake and Erwin further along the path. She glances back and scowls at Gunn. The large man shrugs and begins walking again. I fall into step beside him, almost by instinct, and the two of us are walking side by side once again, only this time in silence. Wait, Kat, what are you doing? Karma, why are you climbing on the laptop over there? Despite my best efforts not to, I steal more than a single glance of Gunn. Before today, the only thing I knew about the great hero Gunn Rose was that he's an amazing healer. Meeting him in person, he seems more like a thug than any world-class priest. His eyes catch mine.
You curious about me?
Yeah, you're strange. Yes, you were strange.
Strange.
I shrink back, suddenly regretting my word choice, but that only seems to make him laugh.
It's okay. I'm actually kind of flattered. Most people are too scared to be honest around me, but I don't think I'm scary. I just love healing people. I love that rush of being the one to pull them back from the brink of death, being the guy that everyone owes their safety to and relies on. It gets me going.
From all the things he said before, I was beginning to think watching people get hurt is what gets him going. It's reassuring to know I'm wrong, I think.
So it's frustrating working with a group of legendary heroes. The last time I healed something substantial was Erwin twisting his ankle before an important meeting.
Okay, I didn't double skip, I just twitched there.
The look on his face. Please, Gunn, you've got to heal me. If I walk in there like this, they'll eat me alive. Now there's something I'd love to see.
Maybe my initial thought was right.
No one in this party ever gets hurt anymore. That's why I'm excited. Death Peaks is difficult even for a maxed out party. You know, the kind that are too busy doing laborious side quests to help save the world.
I knew the kind of adventurer he was talking about. My father is a monstercologist, and an entire wall of our house is dedicated to bestiaries that adventurers have started logging. The one that seemed the most adamant about completing those books are always old, grizzled heroes with years of experience racked up. I've never understood what my father needs with so many books logging the same fauna, but I guess it gives a bunch of retired adventurers something to do. Hearing that Death Peaks is a dangerous place even for people like them is very worrying.
Calm down. No matter what happens there, I'll patch everyone back up good as new. They'll all be singing my praise. Thank you for mending my broken bone, Gunn. Oh, Rose, I'm glad I can see again after you healed these eyes. Gunn, please help me, my hair is on fire.
It's true, you know. With Gunn around, none of us have anything to worry about. I take it back. There's nothing reassuring about any of this.
I don't know why I told you all that. I guess I was just excited you were curious about me.
Curious or terrified? Same thing. In this case, at least. It looks like we're falling pretty far behind. We should catch up.
Yeah.
The two increase their pace, easily catching up to the others. Soon, it's just me trailing behind the others. They are talking amongst themselves. It's easy to see that they have a very tight bond. They're a strange bunch, but maybe that's a prerequisite to saving the world? I still feel like an outsider, despite how much I want to stand within their circle. World-class heroes. I'm excited to see what that means, and Death Peak should be a good place for that. That at least, yet I can't help but worry.
We continue across the open plains until we reach an inn along the road. Everyone agrees that we need to rest here for the night. Apparently, it's been their tradition to rest at this inn before all of their adventures, whether it's in the direction they need to go or not. That seems like a strange tradition to me, but I won't step on their routine. The inn has a very cozy feel to it. Wooden walls, wooden tables, wooden dishes. A large man with a strong mustache is sitting at the counter and he smiles warmly at us. I do my best to smile back the same, but it's hard when he likely thinks I'm someone I'm not. My good keep, 5 rooms, the penthouse suite for myself, as the usual. The innkeeper gives us keys to our rooms. Gabby and Blake share one room between the two of them. Wouldn't it make more sense to give them the penthouse suite? Still, I had said I wouldn't step on their routine. Erwin doesn't seem likely to give it up anyway.
Okay, the deal is we meet downstairs at the crack of dawn. No waste of time, understood? Yes, ma'am.
Gonna have to forgive me if I catch a little extra beauty sleep. I have to keep this face looking bright and charming at all times.
Seriously?
Nah, crack of dawn sounds fine.
Erwin and Blake nod as well. And sorry about the beeps in the background. My Instapot thing is done for later. Mwahaha. Good, then let's all get some rest and get ready for the rest of the real journey.
We all bid each other goodnight and head off to our respective rooms. My first adventure! I'm getting excited. The room I've been assigned is just as cozy as the main entrance. There's a tiny fireplace at one end. It's lit and the crackling noise and smell of burning firewood is relaxing. Burning wood, not firewood. Bleh. My brain go. The bed is warm and there's a small table with some fresh bread and cured meat on the top that adds a delicious scent to mingle with the fire. There's a set of pajamas spread out on the bed that look soft and inviting, and I wrestle myself into them. They're a bit too small, but they'll do, since I wasn't given any time to get any of my real clothes. I set the barmaid dress on the chair and leave it near the fireplace so it will warm when I put it on the next morning. It would have been nice to have had time to buy something other than my uniform, but oh well. As I nestle myself under the covers and get ready to drift off, there's a knock at my door. Not thinking, I ask them to come in. Hey.
And look how big this dude is! He is a giant moose!
And he has heart pajama bottoms. I love it. I'm more than a little alarmed to see Gunn. He pushes past me and enters the room before I can even protest. He catches the confused look on my face and realizes what he's done. What's wrong? Yeah. I guess it's kinda strange to just barge into someone's room. Sorry. There's a small chair by the fireplace that he quickly claims as his own. It creaks loudly in the protest of the large man sitting on it, but he doesn't seem alarmed or worried about that. Without his robes, it becomes apparent just how muscular a man Gunn really is. He catches me staring at him. Should explain myself, huh? You're just easy to talk to. At first I thought it might be because you looked like her. She was easy to talk to, too. That ain't it, though. You're a good listener. No one really listens to the things I've got to say. There's just some things I want to get off my chest. You mind if I stay here for a bit?
Sure, I don't mind. Like I said, I'm gonna be nice this time around. I love the bad endings in this game, but I'm not going for the bad endings right now. Even though they would make me a gleeful little angst gremlin, I am avoiding the death and destruction of everybody and everything. You know, the usual. I pull a chair away from the table that's at one side of the room and slide it over to be in front of the fireplace as well. I sit down across from Gunn. I'm not sure what he's looking to talk about.
but my curiosity leaves me eager to know. I guess I'm as good at listening as he says. Yet, no answer to my question comes. He's staring at the fire. Did he get cold feet or something? He's humming? It starts out nervous at first, but then it starts to build. He can carry a harmony surprisingly well. The song is one I recognize from church. It's one of the many hymns that I was made to learn as a child. My own familiarity with the tune catches me off guard, and I find myself humming along. His voice grows stronger as his confidence builds. Soon, he breaks into full-out song. He's tapping his foot to keep the beat, and his deep voice is belting out the lyrics with amazing skill. My hands move on their own, joining his feet by clapping along. My voice is what joins in next, tiny compared to the rich deep tones of Guns. Together, we sing the entire hymn. When we finish, he starts another, this time adding his own unique flair to the song. I'm sure the church wouldn't approve of the yelling, nasal singing style he was using now, and it's impossible for me to sing along, but I still do my best to clap along with increased tempo. After a few measures, I meekly attempt singing as well. I'm not very good, but it's still a lot of fun. We only stop singing when the person in the room next to us starts slamming on the wall. Even if I've stopped singing now, though, I'm just laughing. It's the same for Gun. That was fun. I nod, still laughing too hard to give a proper answer. May, don't tell the others this, but they mean a lot to me. I just wanted someone to know that. He stands up from the chair and starts walking towards the door. As he passes me, he ruffles the top of my hair and smiles sincerely. In the warm glow of the firelight, he looks different than usual. The faded lines on his face that always looked bored now look tired, and there's a kindness in his eyes that is usually masked by his heavy brows. Have a good night. Yeah, that was and that scene wasn't supposed to have the cloak on him, but I guess I just didn't have a pose for that one, so that's why it defaulted to that. Who knows? This was a small, little, fast, new-made thing they did, and I love it. He leaves the room. I'm tired, but I don't move towards my bed right away. My eyes are fixated on the dancing flames. I hum to myself, watching how the fire moves to the music. Gun is a bit strange, but I think he has a good heart. I finally crawl under my bed sheets, the hymn still playing on repeat in my mind. It's been weeks since we left the inn, which, in turn, means it's been weeks since I last slept in a real bed. I've learned to sleep on leaves, rocks, roots, pelts, even branches. One second. I'm gonna turn that down a teeny tiny bit there. It's a louder song. Everyone is starting to look worn down, and even reaching the foot of the mountain range where Death Peaks is located is not enough to boost our energy. Blake looks especially pale, moving slowly along the rough dirt and stone path. He's been here before. He's walked the same path with April. We should turn back. I don't like this.
Get over it. It's not going to go like it did last time.
You don't know that. I'll keep you alive, kid. You don't know that. With that, the group fell into silence. The air here is cool, winds blasting between the valley where we walk. There's only a few trees, making everything look drab and dull in grays and browns, rocks and dirt. Even the sky is hard to see over the peaks of stone towering in the distance. I hug my arms close and trudge along after everyone else. The group's morale is dropping further and further. Days ago, I was sure this was a tight-knit group, but now, in the chill of the air of the valley, I can see the lines that keep them apart. The silence shows how nervous they are. It's sombering. We reach a fork in the road, and Erwin pulls out a map, studying it while his foot taps restlessly on the ground. According to this, we should be headed to the left here. Is that what you remember, Blake? I don't know. I don't remember. Come on, you're the one who's been here before. At least try to put some effort into this. I don't even want to be here. How could I put effort into this? I don't want to remember this place. This is your chance to fix your mistakes, you idiot. He shoves the map in Blake's face and jabs a finger at the fork. Blake stares at it nervously, eyes drifting from the paper to the fork before briefly flitting back. I don't know. Oh, for crepe's sake.
Stop picking on the kid. It isn't gonna do us any good, Erwin.
I'm not picking on him.
You are so. Leave my brother alone or I'm going to roast you alive. Gabby's right. You're being a bit pushy, and Blake isn't good with that, so let's just...
Give me that.
He snatches... My throat decided to die.
He snatches the map out of Erwin's hands, studying it in a moment before flipping it around. Erwin rolls his eyes, realizing his own mistake of holding the map upside down. After a moment pondering, Gunn hands the map back. We should go right, come on.
Then we're going left.
Excuse me? Obviously, we go the opposite of what you'd pick. This whole mission is nothing more than you just trying to get us all killed to feel whatever's sick.
He's right, you know. Rose, you never make suggestions that are good for us. You're the reason we're in this blasted place to begin with. Like, fuck, I'm letting you toss us off a cliff or into a fire.
I see. Suit yourself, then. Everyone goes down the left branch except for Gunn. He's standing still, watching them leave. My own steps falter, and I turn back to look at him. They've got no reason to trust me. My voice catches in my throat. He says the words flatly, like it's nothing more than a matter of fact. It's impossible to read the emotions on his face as he watches the others move forward. We're letting them get too far ahead. We need to keep up with them in case they get hurt. As he moves past me, I grab his sleeve. What, you want to see them get themselves killed? I shake my head furiously, squeezing my eyes shut to block out the image. The entire group is running on high-level nerves, snapping constantly at each other and bickering back and forth. They're friends, aren't they? Yeah, we're friends. It wasn't like this before. They fought, but it was just normal stuff, you could say. Losing April drove a wedge between us all. They all blame each other, even I. He looks at his own hands and shakes his head sadly. Can't consider myself clear of blame. Blake blames himself because he was there and couldn't fight to save her. Erwin blames himself because he wasn't there. Gabby blames herself because she stopped Kent and me from going. Let's walk and talk, come on. Reluctantly, I release his sleeve, and we both follow after the others. Gunn, for all of his strange eccentric, I know that word, but eccentricity, seems to know a lot about the others. I want to help them, I want to be the one that saves them. He's looking at his own hands again, flexing them as he talks. His hands are huge, like the rest of him. They look like they could break a man's head in half. When we first met, that's what I'd imagined those hands doing. Now I can see those large hands aren't meant to hurt people. Now I see them as something that supports and holds others. It makes me feel pretty good to patch them up after a bird tears their faces off, but the tear that April's death caused is hurting them way more than that. I want to heal that pain. That's the pain they all feel all the time. I can see it on their faces as clear as I can see when they've got a broken bone. Wouldn't healing that pain for them be the biggest and best thing I can do? I looked toward the mountain rising in the distance. On the snow-covered mountains was the very same dragon that had killed April, and with her, killed the connection between the whole group. Is this about revenge then? Would that really ease their pain? Gunn followed my gaze. One of the large hands comes to rest on my head, ruffling my hair playfully. Nah, it's not something simple like revenge. Killing the dragon's gonna help, but just proving to them all that we can still be awesome without her. Proving to them that we can still live up to the dream April saw for us when she ain't around anymore. That's what she'd want, you know? When the party started, it was just Erwin and I. We were useless, a rogue and a priest trying to bust up dungeons and make away with the treasures. There's a reason you never see Erwin fight. Two of us were always getting smacked around. Can't even count how many times I saved his sorry ass from dying. Always thanked me, too. Haven't heard him thank anyone in a long time. Not really mean it, anyway. His hand still resting on my head, mindlessly rubbing it softly. It's oddly comforting. Always made me feel good to get recognition from him. Anyway, after that, we met her. She could fight, and when she joined our little group of Fail, we started to make actual progress. Erwin stopped needing to fight, he stopped getting hurt, and she never got hurt. It was pretty boring. She could tell I was bored, started throwing herself at the monsters all the time. Reckless fool that April was. She did it just so I'd have something to do, and she'd always thank me with the brightest smile. Watching him talk about April, I could tell. You look... Would it be... I think she understood you. See that? Or she looked at you because, yeah, no.
Yep, I was right. I remembered which it was. Yes! It's been a long time and I still remember the answers mostly for this dude.
Yes, she knew I fed off her praise and helping her out of a jam. When I talked about her getting her face melted with spider acid, she just laughed and said, "Maybe I'll do just that. I know you'll be there for me." She trusted him enough to throw herself into danger. The bond the three of them had must have been very special. The others flocked to us soon after, Gabby dragging Blake along behind her. She wanted to join to save the world, heard it would clear her name. Kent's father told him to seek us out and join. Just like me, April understood every single one of them. She saw how scared Blake was of getting attacked, and she'd take hits for him, smile and tell him not to worry cause Gunn's back there and he'll keep everyone alive. He shakes his head sadly. She made us trust one another. We were invincible like that. That trust died with her. I gotta get us to find that trust again. If not, how can we hope to defeat evil? He curls both his hands into tight fists, eyes now lingering on the back of the others. It's obvious how much he cares about them. It's more than he'd ever admit to their faces. He needs to save them from this darkness because they are his friends. Who would be there to save Gunn, though? Something rushes through my body, a sharp electric sensation that causes the hairs on my arms to stand up. The person who needs to save Gunn is me. I can't explain it. He seems to talk to me out of the blue so often. Is he actually expecting me to help him? No, it doesn't feel that way. I don't think he's doing this expecting to get something out of me. In that case... Slowly, I grab his hand. He seems hesitant at first, but allows the action, eventually curling his own fingers around mine. Again, I realize the size of his hand, fingers easily swallowing my tiny hand whole, but his touch is gentle. And this is one of the adorable CGs because this game has a ton and everything is adorable and cute, even when it's all trauma and sad. I love it! One wrong motion and he could crush my bones easily, but his skin brushes gently against mine, cautious. You trying to reassure me? Smiling up at him, I nod sharply. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. And I'm going to do this with you. My mind is made up. Together, we'll save this group of friends, and I'll save Gunn from the shadows he tries to hide from himself. The sound of rocks falling can be heard ahead of us, followed by a scream. Wasting no time, Gunn breaks into a run, my fingers slipping out of his. The scream sounded like Gabby. I followed suit, breaking into a run as well. The uneven ground makes it difficult to move this fast without tripping, but I keep myself as steady as possible. When we reach the others, the sight is so gruesome, my careful balance dissolves at once and my legs betray me, bringing me down to my knees. There's blood everywhere. One side of the valley has caved in, heavy boulders spread across the pathway. As my vision swims, I can hardly make out the others. It's clear enough that they were caught in the falling rocks. Gabby is screaming out to Gunn, one of the boulders crushing her leg. Erwin is a short distance away, a boulder flattening his arm, pinning him flat to the ground. He isn't making a sound, and his face is contorted in a sickening expression of fear and pain. By the look of Kent, a rock had rolled across his stomach. He lay on his back, unmoving. My throat burns with acid. Yes, I think I'm going to be sick. And you can see the health's here. They actually have things change on this. It's pretty cool. They actually put a lot of work into the UI on this for what it is. It's really... I love this game. My throat burns with acid. Yes, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Rose, thank God. Rose, you gotta find Blakey. You gotta save Blakey.
I can't even see Blake in all of this mess. My composure is destroyed as I lean over to rid myself of whatever it was we had for lunch earlier. But Gunn seems unfazed by the scene before him. He stands firm, assessing the damage carefully. Gripping his wand tightly, he walks towards the catastrophe, chanting a spell. Light starts to gather around him. With his free hand, he tears the rocks off his comrades and pitches them aside, waving the wand over the especially exposed injuries. Their wounds heal quickly, the magic even returning the shape to the squashed appendages. He unearths Blake, and the last thing I see before finally passing out It's a body that is nothing more than mush slowly taking shape once more. Gun's magic is truly amazing, but watching it is not something I can stomach. We should have went right. None of you could find it in yourselves to trust me, though. Erwin rubs his arm, giving it a few test swings. Test swings that send his fist into Gun's arm playfully. Can't really blame us. You're the one who's always talking about watching us kick it.
Oh, shut your hole, Erwin. Now's not the time for that. Just accept you messed up and let's get on with this.
I seem to remember you agreeing with me.
I'm just some country hick. Of course I'm gonna agree with the rich genius, Erwin Gates.
Now, I'm not a genius, you know.
Yeah, I know. Wow, that was pretty scary. We should keep a closer eye on the condition of the cliff sides.
Blake nods slowly. The poor kid is so pale, I swear I'll be seeing right through him soon.
Should we turn back and go right then?
No, the paths meet up again. Just the other path had lower walls if I was reading the map right.
Well, that would have been good to know about ahead of time, right, Erwin? We should have just asked.
Erwin's foot starts tapping against the ground at an agitated and frenzied pace. Yes, wow, Gun was right and I was wrong. Fantastic. Now that we've dwelled on that for longer than anyone cares, can we just keep moving? I want to get this whole experience over with. I still don't see why we're even going here.
Get over it, would you? It'll be good experience at least.
I can't just get over it. The bickering starts back up as everyone regroups and recovers from shock. Their wounds not the thing holding them back. Before long, we're moving forward again. I find myself at the back of the line like before, walking side by side with Gun. I can't explain why, but my hand gravitates towards his once more. They didn't even say thank you. My arm stops, dropping to my side as my fingers curl slowly into a ball. What do I know about saving anyone? Death Peaks, a mountain range that's trapped in perpetual blizzard. The snow whips past us and the wind easily chills through our clothes. It's hard even to see the person just in front of me with the blasting snow and icy fogs. One wrong move and the group could easily be separated. Blake had suggested linking hands, stating that was how he and April had moved through the area the first time. Erwin had snapped loudly at the story and then proceeded to take some convincing to agree. Eventually, Gun grabbed his hand roughly, an action that had made Erwin yelp in pain. No one else argued and our hands were joined together. We walked in single file, doing our best not to let go or let the wind tear us apart. I'm thankful that Gun is walking behind us all. His large frame blocks the cold wind from behind us. That puts Erwin between the two of us, something that neither of us took much delight in. I don't care much for him, and he appears to have an equal disdain for me. Holding my hand had caused him to recoil dramatically, his nose wrinkling at my touch. Whatever, I won't let it bruise my pride.
How much longer do we have to walk?
I can't remember. Their teeth chatter as they talk, the permeating cold making even conversation a struggle in this area. According to the map, the Dragon's Cave is not too much further away. A roar splits across the frosted air, followed by a stream of flames. The ice that hangs around us melts as the air crackles with heat. I can feel the snow beneath my feet start to melt from the impressive temperature. Clear as snow, the sight of the magnificent dragon filling the entrance to a cave only a meters away becomes clear. And that's the dragon. I don't know if we're seeing the front and it's flexing or how it goes there, but I like to think of it in a football puzzle, or sumo, or something. When the arc of flames diminishes, the blizzard obscures the sight once more. The cold snaps back quickly, feeling even more oppressive than before. Another fiery whip blazes over our heads, rippling through the winter air, evaporating the blizzard as it goes. He drops to his knees, the melting snow splashing around his legs. Erwin whimpers behind me and he scurries backwards. Gun grabs him, stopping him from dropping as well. Gabby's head is tilted upwards, watching the fire sparkle and dance with violent intent.
It's beautiful.
Ah! Kent breaks into a run, both of his axes moving from his back to his hands in one smooth movement. He's making short work of the distance between him and the dragon. Gabby snaps out of her trance and begins to chant a spell. Her arms start to sparkle with a brilliant blue glow. That's what killed her. A small patch of trees nearby burst into flames. With a consistent light source, the once impenetrable white scene is bathed in an eerie orange glow. The black scales that run across the dragon's body shimmer as it rears upwards for its next attack. It hasn't noticed Kent or Gabby yet. The dragon's head points upwards as a hissing sound gathers deep in its chest, and joints creak of black scales in a twisted duet of death. Another burst of fire illuminates the sky above us, breaking through the heavy clouds and allowing us a brief chance to see the brilliant blue sky of the midday. A blinding white light breaks the vision, extinguishing flames as it tears upwards, forming a trail of delicate ice crystals as it goes. I hear Gabby whoop with joy from the base of the dragon's cave. Erwin, who was still leaning heavily against Gunn, suddenly snaps upright. Wait, shit! Adrenaline takes control and he finds the strength to stand on his own. The cave entrance is trapped. I didn't know the dragons had that sort of handiwork. I can disarm it, but I won't make it over there quick enough to. Hey, hold on tight to all your stolen belongings.
What do you mean?
Gun propels Erwin through the air. There's a sickening crash when Erwin's body lands at the base of the cave, but it's shortly followed by the twinkle of a healing spell. I can hear Gunn chanting next to me.
You could have killed me. Are you insane?
His voice travels exceptionally well from that far. Come on, we have to get closer. His hand grabs mine and he starts to tug me towards the others, but I stand my ground. Concerned eyes looking at Blake, he follows my gaze. We have to leave him for now. He's fighting his own demons in a place we can't see them. If something happens, I'll keep him safe. Come on. He pulls me forward, not roughly, but just enough to let me know we have to go. Though he pulls lightly, the gentle grip of his hand before now is tight and frantic. Yet I can't help but think he's enjoying this. As we get closer, I can hear Erwin. Kent, hold on a minute. Erwin is working quickly as he can to disarm the trap on the opening of the cave. Kent is running, ignoring his words, hoping to make it around the dragon's back. And now his eyes are red because, yeah, he is, as they said earlier, a berserker. He doesn't even realize it, though. There's something wild and unfamiliar about Kent's movements. No matter how loudly Erwin cries out to him, his words can't seem to reach Kent. He yells until his throat is raw, but Kent continues. Shit. He gives up on alerting the other hero and turns his full attention to the trap. His hands work quickly and skillfully, but even I can tell it's not quick enough. Kent crosses the threshold and triggers the trap. Acid rains down from the hidden spouts along the top of the cave mouth. I can hear Erwin curse. Kent runs right through it, the acid tearing at his flesh and clothes. Even that isn't enough to deter him from his path. Gunn is chanting it in an instant, and Kent's wounds start to heal as fast as they open. Erwin swears again. The acid has caught him as well. Gunn notices too, and the wounds begin to bubble over. Erwin moves away from the cave's mouth to escape the growing cloud of acid. Why wouldn't he listen? You know why. If you just let us tell him that he goes berserk, it wouldn't happen anymore.
This again, it's convenient and you know it.
But is it more important than us being able to work together and execute a plan? Erwin doesn't reply. I look back towards the dragon. Kent is running along his back, using the spines as stepping stones for his mad dash. He's almost up the neck when there's a burst of shattering ice under his foot. Gabby.
Oh yeah, a direct hit. Oh wait.
Kent, whose own rage didn't give him any time to react, slips on the now slick surface of the dragon and falls downwards, plummeting towards the hard rock surface below. His body hits with a crunching noise. Gunn is on the repairs in seconds. There were stories of priests who pushed themselves too hard on the battlefield, who wore themselves out before the fight was won when put in a situation where the party is being hurt badly constantly. These stories appear irrelevant when faced with Gun. He's calm and showing no signs of slowing down. The dragon also has a stamina that far exceeds any typical beast's. It recovers from the ice spell and turns its concentration on us. Its acknowledgement provides we've painted ourselves enough of a nuisance to actually require an intelligent attack on the dragon's part. Until now, it was just throwing ill-aimed shots of fire off at random. That was about to change. The beast does not look down towards its feet at Kent, who is breaking into another mad dash attempt of what he did before. It doesn't look at Erwin, madly trying to disarm the trap before Kent reaches it a second time, or Gabby, who's readying another ice spell and glowing brightly in the orange glow of the burning trees. It doesn't even look to Gun, the one keeping the party moving at all times. It's looking at Blake. Still kneeling in the slush where he had dropped earlier, Blake doesn't register the dragon's sharp eyes on him. He's frozen, despite the heat that is gathering in the air so heavily now that snow has stopped. He's too far away to hear, but I can see his lips moving. I'm going to fail again. This is it. We need to do something. We, Gun, I don't know if you remember, but you and I are useless at fighting. What exactly can we do? Looking between them both, it's easy to tell that they are both at a loss. Gun can heal any damage that's done to him, right? If he's torn to pieces, I can't save him. If he dies, I can't save them. If we fail here, it's all over. Don't stand there mumbling to yourself. Do something. This was your plan. Do something. There's a sudden tension between the two of them that is sharper than the cold trek here. Erwin's confrontational words are challenging. You're the one who's supposed to be our leader. Did you forget that somewhere? Everything has gone to chaos in an instant because you stopped caring about all of this. Gun's own words bite back with just as much truth. I know, you loved her, but is that any reason to keep on standing still and refusing to move forward? Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. I do, Erwin, you're the smart one. Fix this, like you would have done if she was still here. The dragon's head is charging towards Blake at an impressive speed. Even though Kent is making good ground, he won't be at the dragon's head fast enough to make a difference. I wiggle my hand out of Guns and run. He's caught up in the argument with Erwin, so he doesn't try to stop me. Once I've put enough distance between myself and the other two, I grab a rock and hurl it at the dragon. It connects. The rock bounces off the scales. As an attack, the move is useless, but it still serves the purpose I had hoped. The dragon's head stops only inches away from Blake. I yell at it, taunting it, begging it to turn to me. What am I to this group? An outsider. I'm not a hero. I'm not a member of this party. Time slows as the dragon's head swivels. I'm just a barmaid. With fluid motions, it moves towards me. Losing Blake would cost them the chance to heal as a team, but losing me... I close my eyes and spread my arms outwards. Time speeds up. The dragon's neck whips towards me. Losing me is nothing. Miss May! I can hear Blake scrambling to his feet, his boots crunching across the slush, mud and rocks as he runs towards me. He won't make it in time. The heat of the dragon's head warms my skin as it dives towards me, mouth open, jaw unhinged, flames gurgling in its throat. May! April. In seconds, everything is black. Letting my dad go on through, gave him some banter back and forth, called him a butt munch, the usual. You let it happen again! You killed April again! Teeth scrapes across my body, tearing at my skin. It wasn't me! I didn't... It was you! Blakey! Blakey, are you okay? If I remember, this should still be okay. If you have this and it's a certain level of lower, it's how you get the bad ending. But it's fun either way. The powerful tongue crushes me against the roof of the dragon's mouth. I can feel one of my arms dislocate from the pressure just before my breath is cut short. I'm going to die.
You took April away from me again.
I didn't do it on purpose. She tried to save me. Just like then, it's my fault.
Erwin, leave him alone.
I'm going to die.
April, can you hear me?
That's not April.
I'm going to die. Gun. Hi, Lena. I'm at the very end of this route, though, but hi.
We haven't lost her yet. Blake, Erwin, pull yourselves together. If we don't work as a unit, May will die.
But hi. It's good to see you. Good to have you in. How are you doing? But
I can't.
I'm going to die.
Stop saying you can't do it.
That's right, Gun. I know you can do it.
May is in danger. This is the only chance at redemption we'll ever have. Prove to April you've learned your lessons.
April.
I can hear the sounds of a fire crackling and a sensation of warmth follows soon after. It's likely the fire in the dragon's throat is building into the mouth where I lay crushed and dead across the top. No problem. And this is at the end anyway. I'm only probably gonna do one round because, well, kids, school. Like an hour from now. It's just like then, I'm going to lose her again. But if I'm dead, then how do I hear or feel these things? We're not going to lose. Gun, please save me. My eyes fling open. Awake, huh? I try to sit up, but everything hurts. Not a good idea. You were in rough shape, and I could only heal you so much before I ran out of magic. We're resting now so I can finish things up in a bit.
But look, this is Gun. He is the best bean. He is wonderful. And he's all extra gruesome on how he talks, but he cares about his friends and everything in their party, even though they don't always believe it.
You're in real rough shape, and I can only heal you so much before I ran out of magic. We're resting right now so I can finish things up in a bit. I can only stare, bewildered. I had died, hadn't I? But yeah, she has 10 health now, and he has no mana. Bet you're wondering what happened. They did it. Erwin snapped out of his thing first. His commanding voice is one of the few things that can get through to Kent when he flicks his crazy switch. Kent was at the head, and Erwin told him to cut the bottom jaw loose. He told Blake to be ready to catch you, and as soon as the dragon's throat was exposed, told Gabby to target her magic there. He finally filled the role he was always used to, commanding the team with that big head of his. Gun holds my hand, lifting it. His head drops at the same time until it meets my knuckles. There's sweat on his chilled brow, signifying just how much of his strength he had already spent trying to heal me. Once Erwin was back, the others fell into place. They all worked together. Everyone showed their true strength because we wanted to save you. We needed to. It's all thanks to you. I shake my head. A sensation enough to make me dizzy. My free hand presses against his chest. My reckless actions may have played a part in making everyone understand what needed to be done, but I had heard Gun's words. I had heard him begging everyone to work together. This was his plan all along, and it may have hit some rough patches, but the person that saved the party was Gun, not me. Across the room, the door opens. Gun, is she awake? I heard you talking. Yeah. I see. Thank goodness. I will say, Erwin's route is actually not romantic, and if you go and you try and go get him smushed in there romantically, it leads to a bad ending. He drags the other chair over to sit down next to the bed as well. Gun, May, thank you both. The dragon was defeated thanks to the both of you, but more importantly, we worked together to achieve that goal. I honestly forgot how good that felt. The others are crowded in the doorway. I look at each of them in turn. Kent smiles brightly, whereas Blake's smile is more withdrawn and shy. Gabby raises her hand and gives me a thumbs up. We all turn to Gun next, delivering the same silent approvals and thanks. After a while, Erwin stands again. I'll leave you two to rest. He pushes everyone else out of the doorway and closes the door behind him. My head sinks back into the pillow. My eyes feel so heavy. Gun is still holding my hand, but as he sees my eyes slide shut, he lowers it to rest beside me. My lips twitch into a faint smile as his lips press against my forehead. Thank you. Hearing those words really does sound amazing. I can feel myself drifting into sleep, but I do my best to push out the words I need to. I need to thank him, so thank you, Gun. for saving my life. After my wounds were fully healed, the party left the inn, and together we searched the world to find the being known as evil. It's amazing to see the group come together and shine as they are truly meant to. Erwin, the leader, the strategist, the one with all the plans, Gabby, the witch, the firepower, the one with all the spark, Kent, the warrior, the fury, the one with all the power, Gunn, the healer, the heart, the one who's always watching. Even Blake, the child, ever hesitant, grows under the watchful eyes of the others. Soon he'll be the hero he's always wanted. I mean, he's in his 20s, he's not actually a kid, but he's just immature, I mean. As for myself, I've found my place. And theme. And now time to go peek at the art for the other things, because mwahaha, Dragon Studios fly. And that is everybody there. The bonus has the music player and a CG gallery. And that's from a bad ending if I remember. Haha. But on the really, also smooch from a bad ending, because yeah, this is the CG set from the bad ending for this character. I love it. Because it changed, everyone, instead of going and working together, ends up fighting horribly. And yeah, talking to a corpse basically afterwards with only him left and like, it's all my fault and it's horrible and sad and I love the angst. This game has really great good and bad endings. But thank you everybody for coming on by and lurking about. I'm not sure if I'll do this again tomorrow or what, if I have time, because, well, thankfully Tuesdays are the one day my husband has off work during weekdays, and then the kids at school and stuff usually, so it's my time to shine. But, great to see you all. Thank you for lurking about. I'm going to peek at things now. See who is online. Because I am not good with this. Oh, I see there's a Megan online. Not Sherry, but she's playing what is that? I had to peek at something quickly. That's a spooky game. It's not, I'm looking at who's online right now, basically. There's lots of fun people around. And it's like, no. I have choice. Okay. That's great. I'm going to go. I will do this. Wouldn't be a big one, but she's cool. So it's not the usual type of game she watches, but she is a cool person. So.